Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of The Bachelorette.
Hola, Chichi. We're in Spain for the fantasy overnight dates.
Or not, but we'll get there.
Alright, so the beginning of the show is basically a recap of some really scary, ugly faces and her trying to wedge herself into the last four guys' crotches.
Jillian, that is.
Yeah, not pretty.
So the first abroad date is with Kiptyn, and they're in Madrid.
Yeah.
So she's wondering if maybe Kiptyn's a little bit out of her league.
Hello? Of course he is. Ugh. Get with it.
So she's kind of been feeling like maybe Kiptyn's not ready, so she asks him.
Yeah.
I hate when people do that. About what's gonna happen at the end of the show if she picks him. So he's like, I'm not really feeling ready for a proposal.
He drops that no proposal bomb on her.
So
and
she's like, what?
Yeah, but quick, bring in the flamenco dance lessons.
Yeah, so
little distraction.
They learned how to clap.
They didn't learn how to do it. They walked around staring at each other, and I was waiting for the teacher to go like, you, no ugly faces. Stop that. That's not part of the dance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they didn't learn too much, and then it was time to take a scooter ride to dinner. And
Kiptyn crashed it.
He almost took her foot off. More awkward kissing. About 2 seconds of talk about his boys being too tight in the pants.
In the flamenco pants.
Yeah, then they started eating some snails, which I'm pretty sure are like an aphrodisiac or something. And the fantasy sweet card arrived.
But she was getting all weird. She was like, you remind me of my dad, and you're really sensitive, and would I be wearing the pants all the time? Are you a girl?
Yeah, it just went south, and he was like, well, I would, like, go to the fantasy suite with you, but you don't want to, right?
She's like, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
The biggest
He's like, I can respect
in like
that.
Bachelorette history, and she doesn't want to go and do the fantasy sweet card thing.
She did force him to cuddle, though. She kind of strangled him with her legs.
It was kind of like she chose it anyway, but they went to her room and just hung out for a few hours. Jillian, what are you suggesting happens when you accept the fantasy sweet card?
I know. It doesn't mean you have to do it, slut. Alright, so Reid's up next in Sevilla, Spain. And they don't speak Spanish very well. Especially her. Even her stupid sign language. It's not, it's like...
This is not sign language.
This is not sample.
Well, Reid walked around and kept saying, soy grande, soy grande. That means I'm big.
I think it meant he was trying for it to mean I'm great.
No. So...
Lost in translation.
Then they, gathered stuff for a picnic.
It looked like a pretty sad picnic. And she was just like, hey, we're just going to eat food, and then I'm going to make out with him in the park.
All right.
And that's basically what they did, except it was extremely awkward. And at dinner, she said, by the end of the date, I want you to tell me why we fit so well together. Probably because you're trying to strangle me with your legs every 5 minutes. I can't get away from you.
Every conversation, she has to have a leg on someone.
Yeah, exactly. And she's not happy unless she can get right into their crotch and just, do one of these almost. He basically would do her, but...
He was like, yeah, I'll go fantasy suite, yeah.
Yeah. But he leaves it up to her, and she says no. Again, what kind of slut are you? Come on, this fantasy suite is supposed to hang out. And again, nobody says you have to have sex. But I guess that's what you did with Jason, so that's what you're expecting. All right, Ed, also in Sevilla. He's on the shit list pretty much because...
He's left once and hurt her heart.
And he didn't get to introduce her to his parents, and you know what happened last time when Jason didn't get to meet Melissa's parents. He hung it over her head for the rest of the episodes.
Yeah.
So they go on a carriage ride, and he explains why he came back, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which was...
He couldn't stop thinking of her.
Yeah. I can't stop thinking about taxes, too, but it doesn't mean I want to marry them.
Yeah.
So what's your family like? Well, they're great.
What is he going to say?
They suck. They run around in their underwear and t-shirts all the time, and they pick their noses far too much.
But do they let me put my legs on them? So it was like non-stop make-out on this freaking date. She's like, I need to make up for lost time.
It was really disgusting, too. They even, like, went in a fountain and were, like, making out, and the people there were really disgusted. They totally should have been arrested. They
like,
desecrated that fountain. Please, have a little respect. You're in a foreign country.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't do that in America either. Or Canada.
It's not cool. Or anywhere. So, dinner. He hardly even looked at her. Every time he was trying to talk to her, he was, like, either looking off into space or, like, looking at his shoes.
Yeah.
And he started talking about, well, yeah, my mother wants me to have a kid.
So she was like, you want kids? Me too.
Oh, my God, I can't believe you're talking about that because, like, yeah. And that's great. He's all for it. And then the fantasy sweet card arrives. And he's like, yeah, let's go for it. And she's like, well, I know you even less than the other guys. So that's why I'll do it. At first she was like, no. And then she was like, yeah, we can catch up. And she had her legs wrapped all around him.
No! Okay.
All right. The coup de resistance, or the coup d'etat. Wes.
Isn't it pièce de résistance?
Pièce de résistance?
Yeah.
All right.
I took Spanish.
I'm not Canadian or French, so Wes in Barcelona. Oh, Wes doesn't know about the music scene in Spain, but I have a feeling he'll find out.
In his interview, he's like, I don't know about the music scene, but one of my singles was #1 in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Same thing. All right, so it's time for bike riding with Wes. He's so slimy, he almost slips off the bike. Tell me how sexy I look, baby. Come on, feed my ego.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then they stopped at this, like, gazebo type thing.
Yeah.
And they were chilling inside, and
she was really pissed because she couldn't get anywhere near him.
They were too far apart, so she couldn't reach to wrap her legs around him.
I'm pretty sure their legs were touching. Pretty sure. He won't move to Vancouver. And that kind of pisses her off because she's got to be in charge.
So then she started asking him, like, the hard-hitting questions, like, do you have a girlfriend? Blah, blah, blah. Are you here for your
That bird's
career?
got no foot. Nice diversion, Wes.
The bird's got no foot.
And, oh, I spilled my beer. Wait, let me clean that up for you. I mean, let me drink that.
What a freak fest.
Oh, my God.
Whenever I'm in a tough situation or awkward situation, I'm going to be like,
bird's got no foot.
That bird has no foot.
Okay, so at dinner, it was the same thing. She grilled him so hard about the whole girlfriend thing and brought up the name Laurel, which is his girlfriend's name, supposedly.
Yeah.
That he was like, my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend.
And that was it right there.
Yeah, she knew. He was cooked.
So then Fantasy Sweet Card arrives. He's like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah. Oh, wow, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
She's like, but you didn't even kiss me today. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you touch me? And he gave her the subliminal finger the entire time. And
she was like, I think we better skip it.
Yeah. So at the rose ceremony, it was no surprise.
It's pretty obvious who was going on.
Yeah, nobody knew what had gone on Wes's date. But then, before she walked in, he was like, I'm going to be having lots of sex. And he meant with other people.
Yeah.
When he gets home. And they were all just like, what's wrong with you? So, first rose goes to
Ed.
Then Reid.
And then Kiptyn.
Who's, by the way, I've heard that he's going to be the next Bachelor. So, I'm not surprised. So, Wes is gone. And he flips out.
He was talking some weird crap in the limo.
I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. Bring on the ladies. Clip, clip,
Why
clip,
are we driving
clip.
in weird circles?
Yeah. It was really weird.
There was a lot of stuff he said that was just like... What?
Yeah. It's not even worth wasting the time on him. Hey, if you want to hear more, buy his dumb single. If you're that stupid. Next time, they're going to Hawaii. 3 of them, anyway.
Yep.
And, like 6 weeks later, we'll find out who the...
3 weeks is the finale.
Okay. But you know they got to get all that after the rose, before the rose, the reunion, the family, the this, the that. So, we're still hanging on for the ride. All right, guys. We'll see you in Hawaii next week. Till then, much love.